Alright guys, here's my black cherry slab that I cut a couple years ago. It's been aging in the garage here, nice and dry. It's gonna be so nice. I hit it with the block plane just a little bit today to see how much I could take down with that, but I was not able to get nearly as much as I gotta do. I gotta do about an inch in this area, because when I cut it with my chainsaw, I strike the line with the snap line, but I didn't cut it that good. So I gotta take out some of this in this area here, and I'm gonna do it with my router. I'm gonna make a jig up. So first thing I did is I got the log. Let's look down here and see. I got it as level as I could. You can see there's a little bit of height change. Like I said, it's just over an inch, I think, from this highest spot here to that lowest spot down here in the middle. Got it leveled up, locked it in here just with some screws and some plywood, as you can see right here. Definitely, it's not gonna move now and it should be stable. I got my jig, just made it up. It's out of some garage door L's, angle iron. Just plywood, I just spaced it off. Should be right. We'll see how it goes. Next thing is to make the rails. Then the router's gonna slide right down the middle here. It's gonna slide back and forth. We're gonna have rails. We can adjust the height of the rails as we go. I'll update you in a second. All right, guys, here we go. We've done a couple passes. Here it is. It's set up pretty good. All I got so far is two 2x6s. They were really straight. I sanded the top just to make sure we were nice and smooth. I got them screwed again down to my plywood is where I got them attached right here on my plywood. All the way down, and at the end of the table I got it clamped because I can't screw into my table down here. I've been over the whole thing once. Taking about, I'm doing a little bit more than a 1/4 inch probably per pass. Probably could go slower. You can see here, I got a step like right here in the middle. That's where I'm at, the router. Everything has worked pretty good. I did have it come out of the, had my router bit like loosen up one time, probably because I was taking off a little bit too much cut. So I did shorten up just a little bit. But that's what we got so far. I'll give you another update here in just a minute. So guys, I hit my first problem. You notice how I was saying I was taking off 1/4 inch passes? Well, right about here, I don't know if you can see it, the router bit started to get a little bit lower and lower and lower and lower. And I kept checking to see if it was tight or not, and it was tight the whole time. So that wasn't it. And got to about right here, and it snapped off. So what that really was doing, it was a little bit of metal fatigue, and it was getting longer and longer and longer, and then it finally snapped. So we wore it out there, probably a little bit of the heat, a little bit of the violence, the cut. That was a 3/4 inch. My next biggest one I had was a 1/2 inch, so I had to switch down. Went way lighter on the next few cuts. But you can see here, I am just about there. I probably need 3 more passes probably to get all the way through this right here. So, do the last 3 passes. All right, guys, here is the final of my black cherry top. So you can see I got it all the way done, and I got it installed. Skipped a few steps there at the end. So we got a bunch of Dutchmen we put in. There was that nice crack going down the whole center. So there's Dutchmen all the way down the length of it, all the way over to there. We got a little model here, show them. So there's our Dutchman. I filled it with a deep epoxy. It's epoxy that can set up to 2 inches deep, so it's not a skim coat, but that filled the crack. It actually goes all the way through, nice and clear. That worked out really well. The last notes on the router jig. Here's some things we got. I ended up waxing those rails. Once I waxed the rails, things went way, way better once I waxed those rails. So note to self, next time, wax the rails, and everything else worked out.
This is.
Yeah. Everything else worked out really good. These are little sliding shelves actually for the shoes. They slide in and slide out. Wax the rails, and big cutter. The 3/4 cutter was way better than the 1/2-inch diameter cutter. So a 3/4 cutter if you got it, and very small passes. So probably.
Have your hand under here. You might get a splinter.
Probably 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch, something like that. All right, guys, later. All right, guys, I got one more update. I totally forgot. When I was setting the level of this, there's a little bit of adjustment we can make. So I tried to set right in the middle where I was half was high and half was low. That's totally not the right way to do this. So the right way to do it is to worry about that low spot, because the low spot is how far you have to go, and that's the spot we want to worry about. So rather than setting about half of it high and half of it low, next time I would set that low spot up, and then if a few of the corners, like this corner was our real high corner, and then we had this middle section that were real high, if those ended up taking off even like 2 inches of material, that's better than taking off 1 inch of material over almost all the thing. So what happened is this section was our low section, was right in here, and everything else was down to height, and then we had that low section to go, and that was totally a problem. So worry about your lowest section when you go and set this for level. All right, that was my last tip.